You are welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of the living room section of the 3-bedroom flats, building lighting points and fan wiring design. In this part, I have just combined the demo part and the conduit wiring description part of the living room section as I told you earlier in those 2 videos. Firstly, I will show you the description of how it was combined before I run the simulation demonstration. In the second video of the living room section, I told you that 3 mains hot wires came from the DB with 1 neutral wire through this pipe layout. Here they are. These are the 3 mains hot wires and the 1 neutral wire. So, as we can see, this is the DB distribution board. And here are the miniature circuit breakers. I use this alternator, AC source, as an incoming single-phase supply to the DB with the life and neutral wires. This is the earth rod, with the conductor connecting the earth rod to the earth bus bar in the DB. So, we know that this is a 3-phase DB panel. Though I supplied power to the DB with a single-phase supply, I have to loop the other 2 phases from this single phase so that all the miniature circuit breakers will receive power. You can see the neutral wire connected to the neutral bus bar of the DB. Just like in my previous videos, these breakers are in pictorial format. They're not active. So, I have to use the active components in order to show you the demonstration. In wiring my active components, I used active fuses to represent the circuit breakers. The first red wire is for the chandelier light, making use of this fuse. You can see it. The second is for the wall bracket lights and the POP lights. You can see it. The third one is for the fans. You can see it also. So, these are the 3 mains hot wires that entered the living room. Set the connections this way. You can see the 3 fuses connected together here with a default terminal linking to the supply. Let's trace the mains hot wire that feeds the fans. This is its label, fan mains. This is its active miniature circuit breaker. This is the connection. The wire runs through this pipe layout as I told you in the part 2 to this fan 1 regulator switch box. Here is the mains hot wire from the DB supplying this fan 1 regulator, linking to this active regulator representing the pictorial one. This is the branch hot wire from the active fan 1 regulator linking to the branch from the pictorial one, running through to supply fan 1. Then, the fan 2 regulator looped its mains hot wire from the mains hot wire of the fan 1 regulator. You can see the looping. The wire runs to the regulator switch here, linking the active one. This is the branch hot wire, which now runs through to supply fan 2. We can understand the connections by these labels on the default terminals. You can see it, fan 2 branch. See it connected here with the same labeling, as well as fan 1 branch, connected here. Similarly, here is fan mains from the DB. See the connection with the same label. So, that's for the fan connection. We move over to the next mains hot wire, which is supplying the chandelier light, labeled as CHAN. This is its active miniature circuit breaker. You can see the connection. The wire runs through the pipe layout to this 3-gang switch. You can see it here, mains 2 for chandelier light. It entered into the pole terminal of the center gang in the pictorial 3-gang switch. It then links to the pole terminal of the center gang of the active 3-gang switch, representing the pictorial one. You can see the connection by its labeled default terminal, same as in the DB, CHAN. I told you that it is connected in 2 ways. This is terminal 1 and terminal 2 of the center gang. These are the wires for its 2-way wiring, running through this pipe to the second point. These wires are linked to the active 3-gang switch accordingly. The green-colored wire labeled CHAN T1, terminal 1, and the brown-colored wire labeled CHAN T2, terminal 2. The wires run through this pipe layout to this second switch, which is a 2-gang switch. They entered into the pictorial 2-gang switch accordingly and also linked to the active 2-gang switch accordingly, firmly connected with the same labeling accordingly. This is then the branch hot wire, which is the output of the switch supplying the chandelier light. You can see it labeled CHAN branch. See the same labeling here on the chandelier lamps. There are 5 lamps making up the chandelier light. So, that's how the chandelier is connected. It can be controlled at this 2-gang switch or at this 3-gang switch. We move over to the mains hot wire that feeds wall bracket lights and the POP lights. You can see the label, wall/POP. This is their miniature circuit breaker. You can see the connection. The wire runs through this pipe layout to this 3-gang switch. You can see it, mains 1, looping POP lights and wall bracket lights. It entered into the pole terminal of the first gang in the 3-gang switch, looping the third gang at its pole terminal. This first gang controls the POP lights, while the third gang controls the wall bracket lights. You can see how the mains links to the first gang of the active 3-gang switch. You can see the same labeling as it is at the DB. So the first gang controls the POP lights. You can see its label, POP branch. See it linking to the pictorial 1, branch for POP lights. You can see the POP lights having the same labeling, showing that they are connected to that gang. Moving over to the wall bracket lights. The looping here is the same looping on this active one. So, this gang is the one that controls the wall bracket lights. The wall bracket lights are wired to be controlled in 2 ways. The yellow and purple colored wires are the 2-way wires. Terminal 1 for yellow and terminal 2 for purple. Their default labels are wall T1 and wall T2. The 2 wires run through this pipe layout to this 2-gang switch here. You can see it. They were connected accordingly and appropriately, with the same default terminal labeling as in the 3-gang switch. This is their branch hot wire that feeds the wall bracket lights. It links the output of its gang in the active 2-gang switch where it is labeled as wall branch. The branch hot wire supplied the first wall bracket with the same labeling. The second wall bracket looped from the first one, having the same labeling also. So, that's how they were connected. You can see the label on the default terminal of the neutral wire which fed the neutral bus bar. This neutral wire then runs from this neutral bus bar to supply all the points with the same labeling. You can see it. So, let's now run the simulation demonstration of the design. That's the demonstration. I believe you learned something today. Thanks for watching. Do well to subscribe to my channel for more updates.